Legendary!
What is up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we will be talking about the best Hearthstone legal hacks for 2019. Of course, I won't be talking about real hacks, but for apps and services that really give you an advantage. And if I have to be honest, they almost feel like cheating. Sorry if you felt that this was a clickbait, but I'm actually helping you here. If you were really looking for Hearthstone hacks, don't waste your time. Those are just scams that want to steal your account or even worse. The add-ons and services I'll be talking about will help you climb ladder a lot easier and will help you stack more arena wins. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you're even using them, but let's see if you actually know how you can use them to their full potential. Drop a like if the video helped you and subscribe if you're new. Now let's see those so-called legal hacks. Starting off with Hearthstone Deck Tracker. This has to be the single most useful Hearthstone add-on ever created. Let's cover the basics for it first, and then move on to the really advanced features you're probably not even using. The main goal of Hearthstone Deck Tracker is to track your deck.
No. Really? But wait, there's more.
Not only does it track your deck and the cards your opponent has already played, but it also helps you figure out the secrets your opponent played against you, showing you a list of them and eliminating secrets one by one depending on what you have tested for. It also tells you for how long your opponent has had a card in his hand and hasn't played it, tracks for any discovered cards, and even tells you how much fatigue damage you or your opponent will take on your next draw. These are all pretty basic and straightforward features I'm sure most of you already knew about. But did you know you can actually turn on a feature that counts both your and your opponent's damage on the board? This is a really neat feature and helps you make faster decisions and prevents you from missing lethal, most of the time. You will also have an easier time predicting if your opponent is trying to set up lethal for himself. This has saved me countless times, and it is really one of the most useful features in any Hearthstone add-on. I know it might seem funny to you, but when you have 7 dudes on the board, you really do save 5 to 10 seconds in your decision making, with just a glance over your damage counter. Speaking of seconds, you can also turn on a timer that lets you know how much time you have left to finish up your turn, and also tracks the amount of time you and your opponent have spent during your turns, which is also cool. Other than that, you can track your progress with your decks, see how you're doing against which classes, and where you might need to maybe include some techs so you have better odds. Also, you can watch your game replays, and you can even use those replays as proof of victory in sites like World of Duels. You can even download it on your Android device and enjoy most of its features there.
Don't you have phones?
Anyway, in the end, this is a really useful app that will save you a lot of time during your turns, and it will probably save you from a lot of misplays too, so make sure to fire it up on your next ladder climb, and do turn all of its features for maximum results. If you want to know more about the deck tracker, you can check out my detailed video about it, and you can download it from hsreplay.net if you still haven't. Speaking of which, hsreplay.net is the next service I want to talk about. Not only is this the place where you download the deck tracker, but you can actually learn the meta from this site too. The site is free to use, but you could actually buy a subscription for some really helpful in-depth meta analysis, but we will get to that in a bit. From the homepage, you can see which are the top classes in each format in a glance: Standard, Wild, and Arena. At the bottom of the site, you can see which are the top 12 most played cards in each format as well, where this is especially valuable for the Arena. From the Meta tab, you can see which are the top deck archetypes, but the information here is very aggregated, including all 4 servers and including rank 20 to Legend, which is a bit too much of a sample size, but still gives you a decent idea of the decks out there. You can select a deck and get some overall information about it, check out a generalized mulligan guide for the deck, see other similar decks with slight alterations, and even see if the deck is currently being played on stream from someone, or you can check out past broadcasts from the VOD section. This is all really nice and helpful, but if you really want to get the complete picture, then you might want to try out the HS Replay subscription for $5 a month. This will unlock the detailed meta overview for you, and you will be able to look at the actual meta for your server and your rank. You can play around with the time frames as well. You will be able to get detailed mulligan guides against each class, so you know exactly what you need to be looking for in those mulligans. And you will have access to the matchup section, so you can see if you're favored or not in a particular matchup. If you want to give the premium service a go and support me a bit in the process, you can use my referral link. No? Okay. I'll put a link in the description just in case, but if you prefer getting your detailed meta reports for free, then the next site is right up your alley. Vicious Syndicate is another great way to get your meta info from. It still has a premium subscription plan, which you could try for free, but the free version is really nice as well. They update their reports each week, and you can see the decks and classes you can expect the most against you at a glance. The deck matchup section is really nice, and you can select your exact rank range, so you see the actual picture for those ranks. Same goes for the meta power ranking. The meta score is also very interesting. Here you can see which are the most popular decks and which decks actually have the highest win rates. Going up we have frequency score, and going right we have the power score. From the current picture you can see that even Paladin is quite rare on the ladder, but in fact it has the highest win rate. So you will have a bonus surprise factor, since people would be mulliganing for an odd Paladin, since the same chart shows that odd Paladin is by far the most popular Paladin deck. You can also check out the wild meta report from here, if that's your cup of tea or coffee. And the last thing we're gonna talk about is Overwolf's Hard Arena. I know a lot of you already know about it, but I still get asked a ton what arena helper I use, so I might as well talk about it again. Hard Arena is a very powerful tool that helps you make educated decisions in your arena picks. It takes synergies into account and gives you scores for each pick. Some people prefer using arena tier lists, but the scores there are static, and here the scores adapt depending on the cards you previously picked. It's definitely an easy to use app, and it makes your arena drafting a lot more efficient and educated. I'm not saying you should blindly follow the meta scores it gives you, but more often than not, it does have a good point to why you should or shouldn't pick a certain card. Once you're done with the draft, the helper will redirect you to a site where you can check the synergies you built in your arena deck, as well as the overall strategy that you should be going for with it. This is especially valuable to the newer players. It gives a bunch of other interesting information nobody really cares about too, and it even has a built-in deck tracker, but it's too basic for my liking, so I switch over to Hearthstone Deck Tracker instead. And that about wraps it up for this video, guys. Don't forget to check out World of Duels if you want to get extra cash and prizes from playing your favorite games. Thanks for watching, I'm Chris05, and I'll see you in my next video.